Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Watch my video and subscribe my channel. A relieved Ridge cancels their engagement after Taylor pulls a Brooke stunt. Taylor Hayes is more agitated about Brooke Logan standing in her way of Ridge Forrester next week on the CBS soap opera Bold and the Beautiful. And with a little assistance from Nick Marone, she's handling things herself. Taylor Hayes is concerned about Brooke Logan's next move in Bold and the Beautiful. Last week on the Bold and the Beautiful, Nick Marone, Jack Wagner, paid Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, a visit. While they were in Italy, he made fun of Taylor by implying that Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, may move in with Ridge Forrester, Torsten Kay. Although Taylor initially pretends she is unconcerned with Brooke's tactics, it is clear that she is extremely uneasy about her rival and Ridge. She claims to be sure Ridge won't change her mind, but Nick can tell she doesn't think so. So, last week on Bold and the Beautiful, Taylor finally breaks out of her stoic demeanor and gives Nick a plan. Taylor desires for Brooke to find herself in Marone's embrace. Next week, while Ridge is in Italy with Brooke and Eric Forrester, John McCook, Taylor and Nick plan to protect Ridge and Taylor's relationship. BNB. Ridge Forrester listens to the forecasts of Eric Forrester. Last week on Bold and the Beautiful, Eric screams at Ridge over the risk of losing Brooke forever at Forrester Creations. Even though he loves Taylor, Eric still thinks Brooke is his son's real love. Ridge completely defies his father. As far as Ridge is concerned, he keeps on talking about how he is dedicated to Taylor. Ridge has to consider his other family members, even if he is inclined to return to Brooke. Jacqueline McInnes, Wood's character Steffi Forrester, would be devastated. However, Eric skillfully sidesteps that by stating that they are adults and that the heart desires what the heart desires. And he has cited Taylor's candor as one of the reasons he has remained faithful to her on Bold and the Beautiful. She no longer engages in the games that Brooke Logan used to play. But that concept for Ridge is going to be ruined by Taylor. Bold and the Beautiful. Taylor using Brooke's playbook makes Ridge furious. Behind Ridge and Brooke's backs, a desperate Taylor Hayes teams up with Nick Marone in Bold and the Beautiful. Brooke would do things like this, and Ridge didn't like it. His decision to pick Taylor over Brooke was largely based on Taylor's candor, particularly after he believed Brooke had betrayed him by participating in the takeover of Forrester Creations. However, last week on Bold and the Beautiful, Eric informed his son that he was mistaken about Brooke's motivations. Her goal was to reclaim the business for the Forrester family. This could blow up in Taylor's face now that she is conspiring with Nick. BNB. Brooke unknowingly gets a way back to Ridge thanks to Taylor. Ridge Forrester's animosity toward Nick Marone has been openly expressed on Bold and Beautiful, and he's told Taylor on numerous occasions how much he hates the man. Ridge also stated unequivocally that he does not want Nick to accompany them to Italy. By asking Nick to go and keep Brooke busy, Taylor defied Ridge's desires. According to previews for Bold and the Beautiful, Nick will be in Italy next week along with Brooke, Ridge, and Eric. It appears that Taylor was successful. Ridge will probably learn that Taylor wanted him on the trip via Nick telling Brooke. This will happen in Bold and the Beautiful. Brooke now has the strongest justification yet for Ridge to call off his engagement to Taylor and return to her. Brooke just needs to remind Ridge of the original reason he ran to Taylor. He believed she had plotted the takeover behind his back. However, Taylor and Nick are now plotting behind his back, doing the same thing. In Italy, she wanted Marone to act as her guardian. According to this plot hypothesis, Ridge would have the opportunity to break off his engagement to Taylor Hayes and return to Brooke Logan. On the CBS soap opera, fans predict that if this is how BNB unfolds, Ridge Forrester will be extremely relieved because he knows his father was correct. Everything in Italy is altered by Eric Forrester's desperate attempt to stop Nick Marone. Nick Marone is confronted by Eric Forrester over Brooke Logan, which results in startling sabotage in Italy. Will Nick make it to Brooke in time? Bold and beautiful spoilers. Everything in Italy is changed by Eric's desperate action to stop Nick Marone. In Italy, the gloves are off. Eric Forrester took matters into his own hands, just when we thought the competition for Brooke Logan's affections couldn't be much more fierce. Furthermore, this is not your normal case of a meddling father-in-law. We are discussing conflict, sabotage, and a desperate sea captain who is running out of time. The line is drawn by Eric Forrester. Avoid Brooke. Enough is enough for Eric Forrester. Los Angeles was rocked by the warning that the Forrester patriarch gave Nick Marone. What was his message? It's really clear. Avoid Brooke Logan. The problem is that Eric is doing more than just being protective. Oh no. He has a plan, and that plan is called Ridge Forrester. You see, Brooke's reunion with his son is something Eric longs for. Ignore the fact that Ridge and Taylor Hayes are currently engaged. Ignore the possibility that Brooke is genuinely attracted to Nick. Brooke and Ridge are fate in Eric's opinion. What happens when Eric Forrester determines that something is fated? Be careful. This man orchestrates not just medals. Seaside sabotage, Nick's Italian horror. Things start to get very interesting at this point. Nick Marone was planning. Large-scale plans. Plans to win back the lady he loves and travel to Italy are romantic. But all of a sudden, unexpectedly, things start to go wrong. Plans for travel? Undermined. His capacity to go with Brooke? Lost. Is it a coincidence? Not in my opinion. Nick encounters a series of challenges, all of which conveniently keep him away from Brooke. Instead, where does Brooke wind up? On the boat that Ridge owns. She does, of course, because this love triangle has never been straightforward before. The poor sea captain is left frantically attempting to find a different boat to follow them. The frustration, can you fathom it? The man who works as a ship's captain is unable to obtain even a basic boat when he most needs one. Ridge and Brooke set out into peril or fate. Brooke and Ridge are sailing into the Italian sunset as Nick is stranded on land, yanking out his hair. For a moment, let's be honest. Eric's fingerprints are all over this. It's too well timed. The barriers are too practical. Nick was cautioned by Eric to back off. What happens if warnings don't work? Apparently, the grandfather of Forrester isn't beyond a little artistic interference. What is keeping me on the edge of my seat, though, is what will happen when Brooke finds out. Because she will discover. Such secrets are not kept hidden in soap opera land. And when Brooke Logan finds out that someone has been influencing her romantic life, particularly her ex-father-in-law, fireworks, unadulterated fireworks. What this signifies for all parties. Nick Marone doesn't give up easily. This man has been Brooke's lover for years, has a son with her, and returned especially to win her heart. He won't be deterred by a few derailed travel plans. They will, if anything, strengthen his resolve. Forrester Ridge? On a romantic boat in Italy. Brooke is exactly where he wants her to be. However, is he even aware of his father's meddling? Or is he a naive victim of Eric's deception? What about Taylor Hayes? Sitting at home while her fiancé sets sail with his ex-wife. The woman is Ridge's fiancé. I'm not sure what will blow up that engagement if this doesn't. Regarding Eric Forrester, he may believe that he is safeguarding his destiny vision, but in reality he is playing with fire. For Brooke, honesty is more important than anything else. Eric may end up on the receiving end of Logan's anger when she finds out about this manipulation, which she will. The more comprehensive view. This goes beyond simply taking a boat ride in Italy. Control is at issue here, regarding the decision of Brooke's future. It's obvious that Eric feels he has the authority to control her romantic life and force her to pursue Ridge regardless of what her heart may desire. However, Nick offers Brooke an opportunity to escape the never-ending cycle with Ridge. An opportunity for something fresh, free from the burden of decades of betrayal and heartache. Is Nick going to get over these challenges? Before it's too late, can he get in touch with Brooke? Or has everyone's fate been sealed by Eric's meddling? There is no doubt that there will be devastating consequences when the truth is revealed, which it always is. Even though Eric may have prevailed in this battle, Brooke's heart is still up for grabs. Ridge is unable to cope with Brooke moving on with Nick. Who is it, Taylor? According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Ridge Forrester, who is engaged to Taylor Hayes, finds it tough to watch Brooke Logan with Nick Marone. It's clear that he was jealous as a teenager. Ridge's jealousy above Brooke and Nick reaches discreditable new levels. Spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful. Ridge's green-eyed monster can no longer be hidden. As Ridge Forrester watches Brooke Logan reunite with her ex-boyfriend Nick Marone in Los Angeles, his hatred practically spills over the screen. Despite his engagement to Taylor Hayes, Ridge seems to have lost all memory of his ex-wife and become fixated with her love life. The elephant in the room is roaring loudly in addition to being visible. The teenage boy seen wearing an expensive outfit. We're witnessing nothing less than a middle-aged man experiencing an adolescent tantrum. When Ridge can't get what he wants, he turns into a jealous mess. The fashion entrepreneur is preoccupied with Brooke's every move with Nick rather than planning a future with Taylor. Ridge is practically wearing another woman's engagement ring while giving Brooke advice on who she should date because the situation has become so bad. It's amazing how hypocritical they are. He ping-pongs between two women like it's an Olympic sport because he can't stand to see Brooke happy with someone else. Ridge's actions reveal his jealousy more clearly than any confession could, even though he refuses to admit it. For fans, this poisonous triangle is sufficient. Is it true that this plot is being mocked online? They're not wrong. Viewers are pointing out how absurd it is to watch two smart, gorgeous women, Brooke and Taylor, waste their time fighting over a man who treats them both like backup plans. Since the same old plot has been reused for decades, many have voiced their sincere frustration. Remember that great moment when Brooke and Taylor linked so well and realized that Ridge was the real problem? Advocates are begging for that zeal to return. Instead, Taylor and Steffi Forrester sit around looking smug while we watch Ridge act stupidly toward another lady. That self-righteous bubble needed to be burst. And at least Donna Logan was able to provide them with something to ponder. Will this cycle ever come to an end? In 2025, we continue to see Ridge mistreat and degrade both ladies because they unjustly still want him. Taylor and Brooke have never left, even though the father has treated them like revolving doors for decades. How does this storyline still take place today? The most bothersome thing about it? Ridge will probably come to the abrupt and dramatic conclusion that he belongs with Brooke. Poor Taylor will be devastated once more when the whole destructive cycle begins. One thing is certain, though. Ridge Forrester is getting older by behaving like a resentful teenager while two wonderful ladies fight over him. Very, very old. Will Ridge ever admit his envy? Will Taylor come to realize that she deserves better? Will Brooke and Nick sail off into the sunset? B&B fans will have to keep watching to find out, but we're all hoping for something, anything, to break this never-ending cycle of dysfunction. During Brooke and Ridge's boat ride in Italy, Nick causes trouble. The fun in Italy will begin when Nick Marone raises trouble, according to the teaser trailer for the week of July 28th to August 1st of Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. Let's talk about what to anticipate from these fantastic location shot episodes, which feature Ridge Forrester and Brooke Logan taking a boat voyage together. As the weekly B&B advertisement starts, Eric Forrester raises a glass and toasts with Ridge and Brooke at his side. A crowd gathers around the group as Eric makes his big declaration. The preview shows Brooke and Ridge traveling on a speedboat before they are welcomed to Capri. Nick will soon be able to buy his own boat, of course. Nick is rushing to Capri with intentions to pop the question to Brooke, so there will be some Forrester fashion excitement in the interim. A new line that is anticipated to create a lot of attention will be introduced by the corporation. Brooke will use a variety of methods to blend work and play. In addition to helping Forrester Creations market their latest creations, she will take the time to rekindle her relationship with Ridge and deepen her relationship with Nick. Nick believes he is the best man for Brooke and will do whatever it takes to ensure their future together. Nick will project confidence as he seeks to win Brooke over and dispel any recollection of a Ridge reunion. At the conclusion of the weekly promo, Nick sarcastically remarks, "Time for the fun to begin." Nick will work very hard to get a new chapter with Brooke, but his plan will not work. Ridge and Brooke's reunion is rapidly nearing, thus Nick will soon be out of luck. The bold and the beautiful teasers indicate that Brooke will suffer an accident that will permanently alter Ridge's feelings. Return soon for more amazing news. Eric versus Nick, Brooke strikes back, and Taylor's warning. Here are spoilers for the Bold and the Beautiful episode airing on Monday, July 28, 2025. Fans should expect Eric Forrester to issue a warning to Nick Marone. Meanwhile, Brooke Logan replies to the altercation with Taylor Hayes. As you read on, let's talk about what's coming up in the CBS soap opera, The Caution of Taylor Hayes. Let's begin with Brooke and Taylor. Once again, they are fighting over Ridge Forrester. Taylor continues to witness Brooke chasing Ridge in spite of Tridge's engagement. Taylor is particularly concerned about Bridge's presence in Italy, which is the location of many of their reunions. Read this to find out what happened in the latest B&B episode. Taylor made a proposal to Nick, but he hadn't accepted it yet. That may change based on what Brooke tells Taylor. I believe Taylor will put more pressure on Nick to accept her offer. Brooke Logan's defense. Brooke was throwing herself at Ridge and begging him to join her again. Naturally, Taylor was present when the trade took place. Even if Ridge behaved himself and was a decent guy, Taylor will be worried. After addressing the blonde, Brooke will reply, "Is there anything Brooke might say to Taylor that would make her opponent nervous? Or will Brooke's act of innocence leave Taylor wondering what she will do next?" Naturally, they may dispute back and forth for some time.